You don't have to do that. No, don't worry about that.
How many of you guys own or have owned a dog? Okay, so a lot of you. Anyone ever own a pit bull? Okay. Anyone scared or dislike pit bulls? Okay. I've been a pit bull owner for 5 years, and I'm here to tell or to change some maybe people that aren't in this class beliefs that pit bulls are inherently dangerous or mean, and I'm Taylor. I'll tell us so. So my first claim is that pit bulls are not inherently aggressive. All dogs are trained and raised by nurture, not by their nature. So it depends on the owner's responsibility, training, and other things that could possibly, any dog could become aggressive due to lack of training and attention given to them as puppies and throughout their lives. Pit bulls were first bred to be family companions and working dogs, so they weren't first bred to be aggressive dogs. And even dogs, pit bulls that were bred to be fighting dogs, the breeders don't tolerate aggressive dogs because they need to be able to pull them out of dog fights without getting mauled. So, and my last question, or another question for you guys to think about is if pit bulls were so inherently mean, how do millions of people own them, share their homes with them, sleep with them every night without problems? Second claim is that pit bull bite records are inaccurate and misidentified. So statistics are sets of numbers without explanations. In every case that that there's a bite, there's a cause to it, and the bite is the effect, and that's not explained in statistics. Pit bulls are also misidentified as other breeds, such as boxers, greyhounds, and bulldogs, and the news will say it's a pit bull, and then you look in the description or you see a picture and it's not even a pit bull. Also, German Shepherds and Rottweilers have stronger bites than pit bulls, that's been studied. And then my third claim is that pit bulls are helpful members of society. They're therapy assistants, educational dogs, search and rescue, narcotic detectors, and many more. Um, 1.3 million people die in car crashes annually. Does that make you scared to drive? Then why be so scared of a dog that could be so fun, loving, loyal, and your best friend?
'You're going to have to wait. Whatever it is, you're going to have to wait. Okay. The proposition is identified, it's got the negative phrasing in it, and it's almost exactly the same as the first supporting point, which also has the negative phrasing in it, which makes it a little complicated. There's not really a preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, so that makes it harder for the audience to know what's coming up and follow what's being said. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt on controversy because I think that most people have probably heard the rumor about pit bulls, and you're in essence trying to debunk that kind of rumor. Like I said, there's not really a preview of the supporting material. There's a lot of questions that are being used to try and build an argument, but there's not as much information to support your argument as there needs to be. You did signpost 3 supporting points in the body of the speech, so I could see that there was a structure there. Like I said, some of the phrasing is a little bit awkward. And on the second point, especially, for instance, where you say that the bite record is inaccurate and problematic, and I'm waiting to hear some information about that, and I just get an explanation that says the bite is the effect rather than the cause. That doesn't tell me why I've got the wrong number of bites, or that any dog other than a pit bull is responsible for the ones that are being attributed to them. You say they're misidentified, and I don't have any evidence that says that. You say the news media emphasizes these points, and I don't have any information that seems to validate that position. These are assumptions that you're making, and I think you need to have some proof on those particular points. The third point, where you suggest that pit bulls have they're a valuable part of society, that they're making other kinds of contributions. Again, I don't know that that's untrue. I don't doubt what you're saying there, but I don't hear any evidence to support that position. And my guess would be, if we were talking about the vast majority of pit bulls, they don't fit into that particular category. I appreciate the desire to defend the pit bull against charges that have been made against it, but you're going to have to get some better information on this. I didn't hear a source citation for any of your information either. So I think you are empathetic toward the pit bull. I think that helps a little bit, but your empathy toward the dog is not going to be, or the breed is not necessarily going to be enough to convince people, especially those who are nervous. The one thing that sounded like it was a piece of information is the number of car crashes that we have every year, and say, are you afraid of driving a car? And I go, every time I get in the car with my daughter, I'm afraid, yes. So when you ask that question, you got to be careful about that. And I think you kind of had a little bit of problem at the beginning also, since it didn't seem like there was an overwhelming number of people in here who have the anxiety that you were thinking that you were going to have to answer. So a little more planning on the intro would probably help. All right.